people see the bridge as a symbol of cooperation, while others see it as a reminder that national interest always comes first. Which perspective do you agree more with?
Well, I agree. It is a symbol of friendship, but not yet. There's still complications there.
The Gordie Howe International Bridge is more than just new crossing between Canada and the States. It's a symbol of economy and political relationship between the two countries. But recent developments surrounding the project have sparked conversations around leadership, cross-border cooperation, and Canada interests. They're asking Canadians what they think. How closely have you been following the recent news around the Gordie Howe Bridge, and what stood out the most for you?
Well, I hope it does open up successfully, but I think it's going to be well-deserved for the truck traffic, for the economy, for both countries. But I hope there's no political interference. I'm
glad you even mentioned the truck drivers, because they are key stakeholders, when it comes to this Gordie Howe Bridge. The fact that it's going to ease movement, between the States and Canada. When two close allies disagree over major projects like the Gordie Howe Bridge, what do you think is the best way for government to resolve those differences?
In this day and age right now, I don't know. One of them won't listen, and the other one has his own ideas, and Canada seems to be, I don't know, honestly. I don't follow it that closely. I haven't followed it that closely.
That's fair enough. Do you think Canada does enough to protect the interests of Canadians negotiating with the other partners, with the states, as regards to the Gordie Howe Bridge, and why not?
Well, I think our government is taking a different approach, and they're going to, if they get stopped at the bridge or whatever, they're going to reroute their economy or their trade to other countries. I think that'll help Canada.
Some people see the bridge as a symbol of cooperation, while others see it as a reminder that national interest always comes first. Which perspective do you agree more with?
Well, I agree. It is a symbol of friendship, but not yet. There's still complications there. Hopefully we can iron them out and move forward.
The Gordie Howe Bridge is going to be open July 27. Obviously, by the time we also will be publishing this, most likely it would have been open. Do you think that the government of Canada having to, have a conversation and have the bridge open is better than just having back and forth, conversations and just allowing the bridge to be closed? What do you think about that?
I agree. Get the bridge open and let the governments iron things out behind the scenes. But get the bridge open and get it going.
That approach seems to be much more better.
Yeah.
Do political disagreements between leaders have a lasting impact on the relationship between Canadians and Americans? Do you feel that way too? Political disagreement, do you feel that it's having impact on families, on friendship, just among ordinary Americans and Canadians?
Just 2 days ago, I met with two of my American cousins in St. Catharines here. We went for lunch. They came up, they're from Buffalo originally, and they're not fans of their government. And we were talking quite a bit about that, and they wish things would iron out better between the two countries. But I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody seems to know.
At the same time, do you think people-to-people, family-to-family ties still remain strong regardless?
Yeah, I had hoped to go to Cape Cod next October, but I don't think I'm going to do it because of what's going on, the political turmoil. I'd love to, because my wife and I had been there 45 times over the years. So I'd love to go back one more time, just for memories. And I don't know whether I'm going to go or not. I'm really
indecisive about it?
Yeah.
Maybe take your time, reflect on it, and make your decision. What lessons should Canada take from the Gordie Howe Bridge project when planning future infrastructure? You remember that Canada funded it upfront, pay all the costs.
Yeah.
Looking ahead now, what approach do you think Canada should take when it comes to planning future infrastructure projects with international partners like the U.S.?
It's hard for me to say. I don't know enough about it. I get the odd thing on my phone that I see, and that's about all I know about it. Really. And I don't know whether that's gospel or not. You never know what's coming on the Facebook or internet or whatever.
Yeah, some people believe that, okay, maybe going forward in future projects, maybe Canada should split the cost, with your international partners while you are building it, okay? Or maybe pay all the upfront cost. And maybe when the whole project is done, then you can now begin to think of recouping what you spent, your expenditures, and start sharing profit afterwards. So I mean, either approach is okay, it's fine, but it all depends on the approach that the government wants to take.
Are there any more upcoming projects between the two countries? I don't know. Maybe after this.
Maybe not.
But I don't know what else would be required.
I'm sure government never see this coming, right? Because again, maybe it has always been, things will always be the way it has always been. These are two nations that have been like friends, families for not decades, maybe centuries. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely.
Well, like I say, my cousins are originally from Buffalo.
Yeah.
We used to go back and forth all the time to visit them. And even up to a year and a half ago, my wife and I used to go over for 2 or 3 hours just to go over and have lunch and do a little bit of shopping and come back and forth. But
you've not done that like in a year now.
I know I haven't. I'm thinking about doing it one day just to try the system, but I don't know. I'm nervous about it. I got nothing to hide, but I'm still nervous about
it.
Yeah.
Then if you could send one message to the leaders of both countries, maybe you could take Canada first and you take United States second. So if you could send a message to these two countries' leaders as the bridge began its next chapter, what would you say?
Well, so far, I'm from what I've read, I'm glad for what's happening, how he's treating everything. For Canada, yes. For the United States, I don't know. I'm afraid to say anything. I'm not happy with what's going on. Like I said, I don't even want to go over for the day. I'm nervous to go over for the day. Although I've got a lot of friends that have done it, and they've had no problems.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
But I hope they can kiss and make up, iron everything out. I don't know whether it'll ever happen or not.
Part of your message would be that they could maybe still work things together, work it out.
That would be
great, right?
A miracle if it ever happened. I don't think it's going to happen. Not in my life. Not with these two leaders.